I appreciate you guys being here today. So we're certainly excited and ready to play an opponent after 3 weeks of camp and 20-something practices. Today's the first day of school, so I know the kids are excited about that to get themselves going. We'll practice tonight, normal Tuesday, Wednesday work day, Thursday clean it up, and then Friday we'll head to Lexington. And so with that, I'll open up for any questions.
At this point of the practice season, Coach, what are you most pleased with your team?
You ask yourself that every day as you're evaluating your football team. Most pleased with the overall team speed, athleticism, some talent we've stockpiled through good recruiting. Pleased with that. Then the next question that comes with that: what are you most concerned with? Most concerned with the loss of established playmakers. Okay, graduation, obviously that's part of it, but there's certainly guys to step in. You don't know their names yet. There'll be new names to you, hopefully in a couple weeks. People will be familiar with those names. But certainly the established guy that's making the catch on third down, the established guy that's getting a pass breakup or interception. They're just new faces. We see them every day in practice, so how they will perform, in a game situation is yet to be seen. But I know certainly the athleticism and the size and things like that are there.
Is this a balanced team? Is this one of the most balanced teams?
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I think when you say both sides of the ball, there's some years you look and you say, our experience is back on defense, and it's where we have to live. I would say we're returning as many offensive linemen that we did, even though we lost the skill guys. Jeremy Butler and some of those wide receivers. It still allows you to be a little bit more, not one-sided. Just defense and riding there, coattails until you find your identity. By being better up front, it allows you to hold the ball maybe just a little bit longer. Maybe force a run to get yourself to some second and manageable down and distance and third mediums. So to answer your question, yes, I think this is one of the more balanced teams that we've had. And I thought last year we were relatively balanced too, later on in the year.
Offensive-wise, Coach, what are we going to see this year? Run-oriented, pass, or a mixture of both?
I think, we'll always try to be balanced, and just the standard question to that would be, but that doesn't mean 35 runs, 35 passes, okay? I mean, you want to try to, run the ball. When you're really good, you can run the ball when another opponent knows you're going to run the ball. Okay, when you're really good, I think that's yet to be seen from us right now. I think, in about 3 weeks into the season, we'll kind of have a better identity of ourselves, of things, and I'm excited about that. Once we get into conference play, you'll know, hey, can we play with more tight ends on the field? Are we more of a two-back team? Are we more of a one-back team? You rep all those things, you get things ready, then the season unfolds, and that kind of creates your identity.
Coach, in the last couple of weeks, anybody that's kind of worked their way from maybe second string up to more of a starter position? Any spots in the last week or so? It's fun to watch those guys. It never goes exactly as you want it to go, because all of a sudden a guy gets nicked up and gets a thigh bruise or gets a shoulder, and he's got to miss 2 practices, and then you may want to move a guy from safety to corner, give the young safeties a little bit more reps, because safety is a position where we have some depth. We went through a couple of days where we lost some guys lost some practice time, and that affected us. So you don't get a true evaluation when you start moving the parts around. So that's a work in progress. Like today, I'm sure you're going to ask me about the quarterbacks. I'm sure you're going to ask me about the running backs and the offensive line. We're still, it'll be 3 weeks before that thing kind of settles itself down, probably in the conference at many positions, and that doesn't concern me. It does not concern me at all, because it concerns you if you got one at any position, or you only got 5 offensive linemen, and when you have an injury, you can't replace that guy in that athleticism. So I'm very excited about that. I think you'll see us play. Normally we would play a game, Greg, and we may play on offense, defense, special team. We may play 40-something players. I think you'll see us play almost 60 players.
Since you touched on it there, I have to ask, any of the guys at the quarterback spot, Neal or Favre, separate themselves from each other yet?
No, but I mean that in a positive way. There wasn't a guy neither one of them went out there and had a bad day or 2 bad days, and then the other guy was able to bypass him. I look at that as nothing but a positive. Neither one of them, it's starter 1A and 1A. It's
the way we're going to look at it. We'll just make a game time decision as we go, and it'll be more of a gut feeling than it will be who completed most passes in practice or things like that. They're both quality OVC players.
Do you think having that or on the depth chart has created a nice little competition between the both of them?
I don't even think they look at it. They probably don't even look at the depth chart. They just know who's getting first team reps, and we try to be as balanced as we can about that. But there's no doubt about it. One of them would like to, like I was telling them, one of them would like to be the guy. But guess what? If we do that, then the other one's not getting, he's not going to get to play, and I don't think that's fair to you.
Quarterback system.
We've had it before when Derek Carr was here, to where he took every rep, and when Jared Neal was the backup, he just got very few in practice, and that's what you live with. And then you're scared to death. You couldn't have any quarterback runs, and you're worried to death about scrambles because you were one hit away from pulling a red shirt off of a guy or being very limited in your offense. So there is a comfort level when it comes to that.
Are you leaning towards either one of them against Kentucky?
I'll just kind of keep that under wraps, and sound cool. But no, not right now. I'm not. I mean, we'll go practice tonight, and the next 3 days, and it all plays into it. The meetings, how the guys rally around you and approach and stuff. It's an ongoing evaluation.
Can you talk about taking on another SEC opponent, starting with Kentucky?
Yeah, two this year, two next year, so we're getting quite familiar with that. And we appreciate those opportunities. We appreciate Kentucky giving us an opportunity to come to Lexington. It's a good venue for our players. I mean, anytime we've got several guys from Kentucky, state of Kentucky being right here so close, so I know they're excited about it. A lot of positive things. Coach Stoops rebuilding that program. A lot of energy, I'm sure, going on there right now. We're looking forward to that opportunity. I mean, anytime our guys can go and play in a hostile environment and feel the pageantry of college football, I mean, that's why you put all that time and effort into it. And they deserve the opportunity, so we're looking forward to it.
Coach, when you look at Kentucky's depth chart, they got more experience on defense.
Yeah.
Do you see their defense as a bigger strength for them overall?
Well, just like us on paper, you certainly believe it's 8 or 9 starters back on defense that they have, and so those two defensive ends are 23 sacks on defense last year, and so I'm sure that's the strength of their football team right now. And but they've recruited well the last 2 years with 2 top 25 or so ranked recruiting classes. So I'm sure the speed and the size is building up on both sides of football, and I'm sure offensively, they're trying to get things going. I mean, Coach Brown, Neal's done a great job statistically over the years, so I'm sure that he'd like to get his feet on the ground his first game and put up some big numbers and yards against us.
What will it take for you to win this game, Coach, besides having one more point at the end?
In all these games, Memphis, the Boise State, the formula doesn't ever change. You're trying to get in the second half, and get in the fourth quarter within striking distance. Whether you're up, whether you're down, you're trying to get it to a one-possession game. No matter how you have to do that. The first part of the game, you can't make so many mistakes early that you run yourself out of there and their crowds in the game, and you fumble the opening kickoff, or you let them return one, and you get the crowd in the game. You got to avoid early mistakes and hang around, and build yourself some confidence. Put doubt in your opponent's mind. Make them press a little bit in the second half. I didn't invent this formula. We all know as coaches that's how you have to do it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's.
Can you tell us what practice will be like for the rest of the week?
Tonight we'll be in helmets. Go back, review the game plan, install some things. Probably let the young kids scrimmage a little bit tonight. The redshirt guys. Tuesday and Wednesday's your normal work day, and shoulder pads, and we need to fit some things up, and our run game, tackling, and then Thursday we'll clean it up. So we're trying to get the guys on for a 12-week, get them in a normal. Because it's totally different. They've been getting up at 7:30, having breakfast, coming to the facility by 8:30. Now it's class and a little bit different, daily activities, and so trying to get them in that cycle. Because the main thing you have to do as coaches is you can't, in your first game, and I use this as an example of the last couple of years. You beat Memphis, a couple of years ago to open the season, but that can't define your whole season. Yeah, it's a great confidence builder. It gets you, going in the right direction, but. If you lose that first game, you can't put all your eggs in that one basket and that be, such a letdown. We've got 3 non-conference games to start the season before we get into conference play, and I'm really excited. Yeah, we'd like to win every game, certainly you would. But the most important thing is to make sure play the best of our ability. If that's enough, then that's outstanding. If it's not, you know, did we improve each week as we get, you know, these first 3 weeks?
Kentucky's got some new people on offense. Do you have a sense of what they're maybe going to do strategically overall?
Well, like you know, they you know, going to spread you out. They're going to play fast. You know, they're going to throw their screens. They're going. I don't know if that's going to change a whole lot. But in the first season, the first game of the year, everybody picks up some new wrinkles during the summer. You know, but they've got some new guys playing as well on offense. So you know, I'm sure you better tackle well in space, right? You know, you double cover some guys, you play 2 out safety, it gets you pretty thin in that box, you know, and also those runs, they start handing the ball off, you better make sure you squeeze some blocks and you know, minimize the gains and get them to some third downs and some third longs. You know, that's just kind of the math equation every week. You know, if you come get pressure, you better get there. If not, you better cover and you know, squeeze the receiver and get the incomplete. So, you know, we're excited about our defense. I mean, you know, we're a pressure defense, so that's just, you live and die by that.
Besides just, you know, the fundamentals, what do you want to see from that defense? What's kind of your challenge for them being the more experienced group that you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, my expectations are going against a tempo team. I mean, you got to get lined up. You got to be able to disguise some things. We can't just stand there and you know, everybody in the park know whether we're playing man coverage or zone pressures or whatever. We got, and when you've got some older kids, you should be able to do that. You know, you shouldn't get discombobulated because the team is, you know, in tempo, because you know we have tempo as well, so our kids see that every day. So those things I'm looking forward to. When we change personnel, when they go from 10 personnel to 11 personnel, we're matching personnel with them and stuff. You know, getting from the sidelines out there, you know, getting lined up and executing. So communication, those are things that older kids should excel in, and even on the road in front of 50,000.
Coach, can you talk about the summer play and practice of some of the area kids that you recruited here from Skyhawks, and especially for me and my benefit? Can you talk about the play of LeDevin Fair, please?
Well, LeDevin's is a very important part of our football teams, you know, especially offensively and special team wise. I mean, LeDevin's a guy that you know, been studying tape all morning, putting a game plan in. You're always trying to find ways to, you know, to get him the ball. He can carry the ball, he can block, and he can catch the ball. So very excited about him. And then Najee Ray from Henry County. Najee's a guy that's made a lot of plays for us throughout camp. And you know, so both those guys have a skill set. And you'll be very, you know, discouraged if you get out of the game and they didn't get enough touches because we've seen them. You know, we've seen them make plays, but you know, you've also got Abu Toure, who's our starting tailback, and Trent Garland, and those guys are very consistent. So there's only one ball to go around, so there's only one carries, and that's one thing we got to make sure we do is kind of, you know, check our egos at the door. Because some weeks they may get 15 touches, some weeks they may only get 5 touches. You know, it's got to be more about, you know, us and not I. So that's one thing we'll continue to do. He's had a real good camp. Great attitude, great work ethic. Kids really like. I mean, he's the first one out on the practice field every day. Not one day, not 2 days. Every day he's the first guy on the practice field. Mentally getting himself ready. He runs hard, and he's really enjoying his senior year. He's got 4 hours left to graduate, so you know, he's really excited about his senior year.
Any sense on what in particular motivates him?
Yeah, you know, it's his first time probably since he was a freshman in junior college, since he's been, you know, the guy, since he's been, you know, the starter. He waited his turn last year patiently, you know, so it's his turn.
How's your special teams looking this year?
You know, you return your kicker and your punter and your long snapper, so that's certainly you know, exciting. And both those kickers, you know, Satterfield and Reddick are, you know, all conference type guys. So you know, that's got to be a strength for our football program, you know, for sure. And then we've got to improve our punt return. We've worked with some different guys back there. With you know, a couple years ago we led the country in punt returns, and last year we were just awful. We didn't catch the ball. And so no matter how well you block in that unit, you got to catch the football. So I'm excited to see that unit get better.
Coach, we're doing a story based kind of on recruiting, asking a bunch of local coaches in terms of social media, which is, you know, ever so popular these days, and kind of the recruiting process. If you see something on social media, do you monitor like a recruit's social media, or do you have somebody that does that?
Yeah, several of our players. I mean, several of our coaches do. I mean, our coaches tell me that you know recruits aren't on. You know, they check our Facebook page, but now they're more so on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. So yeah, we certainly you know, communicate back and forth with those type of things. You know, you see us put a lot of stuff daily on Twitter, and
getting our brand out there to those guys, and it's kind of cool. I put stuff out there, and all of a sudden, I'll get followed by some different guys that we're recruiting. So it's certainly changed over the years. It's kind of neat. I mean, you can, it's different than stopping at the payphone and putting a quarter in there. When I first started this 20 years ago and trying to get a hold of a guy, it's certainly changed. But yeah, but it's changed for the better, I think.
Your coaches monitor it to make sure that maybe these recruits aren't doing something that you don't like or approve of?
No, I don't think anything like that. I mean, you don't have time today to do that. But when you start messaging back and forth, and all of a sudden somebody's Facebook wall or on their Twitter pops up, I mean, yeah, that alarms you for sure. You see something that's that's out of context, or not. Would you want that guy representing you when he puts on a Skyhawk jersey? Yeah, that's come up. That's been several conversations that we've had. And you either move on or you let the guy know about it. And if he fixes it, then you may continue recruiting. But if not, there's other guys out there.
So if you saw something that you didn't like, you would stop recruiting a player?
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean, there's a line, and you can't cross out.
Your thoughts on the Skyhawks being featured on SEC Network this weekend?
Yeah, looking forward to that. Okay, I'm like anybody else. When I get home, I tape games and catch a few, series before I go to bed. So yeah, I don't know. The players. I'm sure they're excited about being on television, no matter what the network is. But I think my kids, my personal kids, are excited about it. They were hoping Tebow was going to do the game, but some other guys are doing it. So yeah, to answer your question, we're excited about it.
How's the health of your team overall right now?
Looking at the injury report today, there's a lot of names on it, but guys should be coming off daily. We only one guy, Kay Larson, a defensive lineman, who just got here this summer. A shoulder, we have to hold him out right now and get further evaluation. Besides that, it's kind of nicks and bruises. We made it through camp relatively okay. We'll start getting some guys back.
So you think all your main guys will be at least available on Saturday?
Yeah.
During the SEC Media Days, there were a lot of the big programs that wanted to do away with these small matchups. What's your opinion on that, since you're one of the smaller programs that benefits from these games?
Well, you understand how that conversation comes up, right, as far as the playoffs and, the Division I playoffs and our FBS playoffs, and nobody knows how that will affect things, but, obviously, financially, that would be pretty devastating to FCS schools, and I certainly, hope that's not the case. And I hope as long as they can still sell tickets and fill their stands, that they'll continue to play FCS schools. You've read all the different ramifications, things that could happen if they did, positive and negatively. So that's kind of above my pay scale. I just have my own opinion about it. But as long as I'm an FCS coach, I certainly hope we can continue to have those matches.
Former players as the NFL preseason's been
Yeah, excited about it. I hadn't talked to it's been a week or so since I talked to DJ or Jeremy Butler, DJ Roberts, but I know Jeremy was in touch with me trying to get online classes so we could take while he was still with the Ravens, and I'm sure they played this weekend. I don't know how they did, but I know the first weeks the seniors were over at my house and we were watching the Ravens, and everybody got excited about that. See DJ run around and Jeremy. So that's exciting. We've had 6 go to the NFL in the last 2 years. That's a different type of conversation that you can have with a recruit when they come to the building and they know some guys have gone on and had get an opportunity to play professional football. That's you can tell them all day long that yes, scouts come here, they'll see you, but when they see the pictures and they see the videos of the guy, it sends a different message. Good.